November 24, I get a call from my sister's boyfriend at the time, and my nephew, my sister, his girlfriend, and online. It was devastating. The weight of that situation was enough for me to be flat on my face, and I was in a dark place for a long time.
You're here today speaking on it because you want to change something within yourself to change others.
What I'm doing now is trying to turn my pain into progress. I want to treat every dimension of Black male identity, the mind, body, soul, and legacy. We are okay with being vulnerable with ourselves.
Spiritual Fitness Podcast. We're back again. I'm your host, Eric Bigger, and today I got a good episode for all of you men and women that is going to inspire you to be your best self. We're going to also open up your ears, open up your heart for you to receive this medicine. He's a great friend now, but I got Gerard Bridgers, father, husband, business consultant, Christian, changing lives through his company, Brothers Extend the Mountain Within. But Gerard, welcome to Spiritual Fitness. How are you? Happy to have you.
I'm thankful for the opportunity, thankful for the platform to be able to speak, because I want to help.
Yeah.
You know, I want people to help me help them. So that's what I'm here for. And I hope by sharing my story and what I'm trying to do, it helps everybody.
Who is Gerard, and what are you becoming? And tell us a little bit about you personally so we can get into the context of that.
You speaking about your pain. And what I'm doing now is trying to turn my pain into progress. But the pain I've had in the last year and a half or 2 years is like a mix. And now I'm just trying to transmute that, like you said, into like a bigger purpose. I feel like I'm called to do something.
But yet you're here today speaking on it because you want to change something within yourself to change others. And I think the fact that you're here moving through that pain, it says a lot about where you're going and who you are. But if you feel free, how much you want to express, if you could kind of share that 2-year journey for you as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a soul, what was that like for you? Just the whole context of what you've been through.
Just to set the framework, because you and I talked about this, and not just you, but lots of people are like, how are you able to articulate and actually speak to what you've been through? My therapist said, there are people who are 5 years removed from something that's half of what you've been through. They can't even speak the names of their loved ones that have gone on. So, I think that's God's gift to what I'm doing. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of God. You know what I'm saying? So my wife, my kids, we're normal life living here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have had an older sister. We grew up together. We're tight. November 24, I get a call from my sister's boyfriend at the time, and I'm not going to go into the gory details, but my nephew, my sister's son, killed my sister, his girlfriend, and took his own life. November 24. And it was devastating. It's what you think it would be is devastating. We still have PTSD, from phone calls in the afternoon. So my therapist, had a couple therapists that working with me on that. Not too shortly after that, my mom was in the hospital at the time of my sister's tragic death. My mom passed 2 months after that, from, natural causes, but nonetheless, the weight of that situation was enough for me to be flat on my face. And I was in a dark place for a long time, couple months, so, but I realized I have these 2 kids, I have my wife, I have my support system who were there for me through the whole time. My dad, because he's going through it with me, he's lost the same thing I've lost. And the weight of it was heavy, but I was like, I'm looking at all these kids, they looking at me every day. They're like, I got to get up out of this place. Yeah. And coupled with the mental health thing from my nephew who did this, heinous act, the mental health aspect. So thinking about that, even though he was much younger. And then I started having conversations with about 4 different circles, like man, after everything I've gone through, like, man, we just need to get together. I start having a conversation and I start thinking about the concept of a men's retreat. We just need to get together and really heal and really think about the things that we've thrown on the inside. And I came up with the concept, brothers ascend the mountain within. And the mountain within is all the stuff that we just throw in the inside and we never deal with, even back to childhood stuff. We just kind of throw it in like we push through. You're a man,
Right. Absolutely.
you're taught to put a black man. You
Yeah.
got pushed through, you know what I'm saying? And the stigma with therapy when we were growing up. No, we don't get therapy. We just pray.
Yeah. We just
Nah.
go to church.
Right. So I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna let you digest that for a
Yeah,
second.
so I mean, there's several things that come up. Thank you for sharing the story. And I want to know, take me back to who Gerard was and his body, his mind, his life before that call came in.
I was in a good space, working, decent job.
Yeah.
And fairly comfortable. I'm not,
Yeah.
saying, but good life, good wife, great kids, great wife, great family, great support system. I'm comfortable in where I am,
Nothing in your life because I want to speak on your nephew. Was he in a different space? Because you said something about mental health, and I do a lot of work on mental health advocacy.
Mhm.
There's things that go on within people that we don't know, they carry that we're not aware of that might cause certain things to happen physically. Where was he at for this to trigger within him, or he was just down a different road?
He wasn't a problem. He didn't have a problematic life. He wasn't a problematic kid. He wasn't necessarily in like no troubled.
Got it.
That's the
Okay.
word. He wasn't trouble. He
Yeah.
was like a little antisocial, and didn't necessarily connect, with you all the time.
Got
But he
it.
wasn't a troubled kid. But
Yeah.
from what we understand, it was drugs. He started dealing with marijuana and manufactured marijuana.
With that being said, you're living a good life, wife, kids, and then that happens. What has been your grieving process? And what was the moment that you said you wanted to start the men's retreat? Was it like right after, or you kind of went through a process of a year or maybe a few months?
Started, the idea came to me like shortly thereafter. After I said I had a conversation with my Larren brothers, my larger friend group, and like two different circles about we need to get that. We're overdue as men to get together because we just pushed through. And then, so I'm gonna tell you about the third blow that happened last year in July. So I had put some loose stuff down on paper about the retreat and what I wanted to do in the vision. The vision had come to me. It was plain. The vision was plain. And I had written it down and I started building on it. And then on top of everything that I had been through, November 24, January 25 with my mom, July of 25, I got laid off from my job. On top of all that. And I'm thinking, I feel like Job right now, right? I'm feeling like Job, right? I mean, I'm not comparing myself to that, but I'm just saying, like, the hits keep on coming. But it actually was a blessing in disguise, and I had no clue at the time because I'm like scrambling and stressing. But it gave me a chance to reset myself
Yeah.
from the pain and the grief that I would not that grief goes away, but it gave me a chance to reset and kind of just, okay, let me think about what the rest of my life looks like for me post trauma. And then it also gave me some time and some space to work on the retreat idea. So I really dug into that and really got that moving during that period. And then 2 months later, I was gainfully employed again. So that wasn't an issue, but it was a blessing in disguise. I needed that reset to focus on the retreat because now my mission is my therapist says the way you deal with the grief and the periods of sadness is to focus on something that you're looking forward to.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that's what happened over the pandemic, where people were so isolated for so long. The reason they was freaking out or going through a crisis or whatever is they didn't have anything to look forward to.
Right.
Right. And I think what's the Tracy Morgan has said on Breakfast Club like years ago. He said the greatest joy in life is not how much money you make, it's not what you become, but the greatest blessing is to have something to look forward to. And I think to have something like Brothers Ascend to pull your energy and time and purpose into, and to
Hmm.
create from, root level, is giving you life,
It absolutely is.
opening you up to receive a different part of you, opening you up
Yeah.
to receive the God in you, opening you up to receive, to meet new people that can help you raise your frequency into where you're becoming and where you're going, but also to put this message out in the world to say, look, I've been through this, but this is not my definition of self or
Mhm.
life, but this is my purpose to bring it out of you, because I know you might be going through something as well, and I want to help. And I
Right.
think as men, like you said, we don't do enough of this because we haven't been programmed or conditioned how to meet up, how to hold space, how to not judge, how to be in the spaces with men to feel safe and to be who you really are and not who you think you should be. And I think when I think about it and take you guys back to the beginning when I was acknowledging him, I met him through someone that I don't know as long or as much, right? But it doesn't matter. And this is why I tell people you never know who God is going to bring into your life and why. But if we're always on the defense, I think Black people, we known for that. We don't try to, we always, you can never be open to receive what's for you because you're looking at quality of time, quantity of time. What does this person do? Who are they? Who they connected to? And it's like, if you got God in your life, you ain't got to question that, right?
Right.
So meeting you open up a space in me. This is how I see life, and this is why I trust life. And I call it God intelligence. But I say it to say nothing is by accident. I had already spoke up at still retreat men. So February 9th is when I started my men's group, Man
Yeah.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Now we're in April, we're talking about a retreat space, the whole space for men to feel safe, to hike, right? To connect, to move our bodies, to ground, to learn, and to receive love, light, and healing from other men.
Just to jump in on that, when I
Yeah.
started building out the plan for this retreat and I started kind of benchmarking what was out there, I saw some men's retreats out there. I saw some Black men's retreats, but they were like semi-dimensional, like one dimensional. But I want to treat every dimension of Black male identity,
Yeah.
the mind, body, soul, and legacy. I want to treat the whole thing. So
Right.
that's how we came to this, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is beyond that, the social construct, because I think that's what impacts all those, right? How we're feared or how we're viewed or the perception of a Black man or our perception. Jay-Z did an interview not too long ago and a young man was Black and he said, how do we allow ourselves? And Jay-Z said, you don't allow, no one is allowing us. We have free will to do as we please. But the fact that that young man had that in his consciousness shows you the level of awareness or perception he believes,
Right.
right? Because how you see yourself is how you receive yourself, and how you receive yourself is what you're going to see in life. And I think, the paradigm of Black men hiking, right? Because I don't know a Black man that's hiked. I mean, plant medicine, I judge plant medicine, but I was called to it. It wasn't like I followed someone. And then to actually hike a mountain, you know how people say, I'll meet you at the mountaintop. It changed, my DNA, changing my frequency to be where I'm at today, to be in your space, to understand like I know how to hold heavy things lightly. And
Mhm.
I think that's what this retreat is going to be. How do we hold the heaviness within our life, within our bodies, within our psyches? How do we hold it lightly to transmute the pain into power to find new purpose? Because our purpose is more than making money. It's more than, taking care and providing for the family. It's more than looking good, feeling good. It's about our legacy is our integrity. Our integrity is our legacy. And the more we go within, and the more we ascend that mountain, right? And we don't stay stuck in that distorted mountain, the more we can allow more other brothers, other men, and other people to grow with us. But it has to start somewhere. So I want to ask you real quick, when you got the idea, was it like a complete, certainly like no matter what, I'm doing it, or was it just like, maybe?
Mm-mm.
And who
Mm-mm.
brought you the idea? Did it just come to you? Was it like spirit led? Did your wife put it in your mind? Like, how did this even all come about? Or was it just like it just came to you and you're like, I'm in?
Well, the word of sin spoke in my spirit. It felt me and God put placed that in my spirit.
Yeah.
And I think actually I was working with my wife on it because initially I think I came up with the Ascend Collective. And we'll deal with that a little bit later, right? And then, she and I worked with it and we came up with Brothers of Sin. And then the mountain within, it just kind of landed in my spirit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the symbolic part of what we're going to do when we go on this retreat, the masks that we wear at the top of the mountain, I want to throw those off. I want to cast those off. Like these masks that we think we have to wear, throw those over the side of the mountain, because we've ascended to a new place and we don't need those things.
Right. And that's the thing. I think we love a good story or a good lie to keep us in the unnecessary, the misery of our lives, because we've been constantly conditioned that way. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, you're this. It's like, no, I don't have to believe that. I don't have to accept that. I can actually go and create something within myself, become, spiritually fit to connect with other brothers and help them win and evolve, because we don't have to stay the same. Everything that's for our highest good, even if it's pain, even if it's something that we don't understand in a moment. I feel like tough moments build great people, right? And great people bring up great men, great families, great leaders. And I think you in this space, especially for the retreat, the intentions is beyond ascending, right? And becoming is how can we be in our greatness together? But can you give us the details of the retreat, the intentions behind it, where is it going to be located, and how can we know more about it? Because I want my community, I want my audience, and I want people to be a part of this. And then we can talk about my insertion of the retreat.
My desire is to have professional Black men come and speak to every part of their dimension.
Yeah.
The retreat is September 10th through the 13th, Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're going to have an agenda. Got 6 speakers working on possibly more speakers there. We got pastors, we got therapists, we got fitness motivational guys, we got a meditation guy, we got financial planners. We got we're just going to treat the whole male body. We have an agenda where we're going to be, a large classroom, and then we're going to have some breakout sessions because we really want to get into intimacy. Our goal is for Black men to come unmask, connect, heal, and build legacy. Those were the outcomes and we want these men to go back to their communities, to their household, and the effects of what they've been through ripples through their community.
That's deep. So there's 2 questions. When you think of legacy, can you break down the context from your paradigm? And 2, when you say ripple through their communities, how does that look in your mind when you think about that?
The legacy is not just about money.
Right.
Legacy is about the love and the life that you lead and how your family, children, the people that knew you will remember you once you're gone. What aspects of your being are left with different people who are still here once you're gone?
I love that.
And then we're talking about rippling through communities. When the men go back, we want them to be vulnerable. If somebody wasn't transparent before, they can. So here's an example. Somebody who wasn't as vulnerable as and transparent as they were before, they come here and they're able to release and they understand that it's okay. Because when we're here and somebody is sharing something they never shared before at the retreat, it's okay.
Yeah.
Come in for the hug, like you said, you and I talked about the other day. Let's hug.
Let's hug.
It's like there ain't nothing wrong with hugging a Black man. So let hug it out, you know what I'm saying? And then when they go back to where they are, wherever in the nation, when somebody growing up in their community, in their environment, sees that they're transparent and vulnerable, they're like, hey, this is a strong Black man in this space, and he's transparent about what he's going through. Yeah. It's okay for me to do that. And then that just spirals and continues to build, man. We don't want toxic masculinity to keep being pervasive through different cycles. You know what I'm saying? We want to break that cycle, man. We are okay with being vulnerable with ourselves.
Yeah, and I think, what's great about this, and we speaking about it, is that I think we have a hard time being vulnerable because we don't feel safe in our vulnerability. And there's not enough creative spaces where we feel safe, right? And so I think that's what you're doing. One. And two, I think men don't cry enough. Like, we don't cry enough. That's the real ripple. When you
Right.
cry, more things open up, more things break down, and you have a
Mhm.
breakthrough. When other powerful men are in leadership or just in their profession and they're able to emote, they're able to express, and able to be themselves with no resistance, that opens up your resistance that you might be holding in your body if you're in the audience and where you're going to come to the retreat. He'd be free as well. And then we're free together. And then we close that energy up and then we bring that ripple into the world. Because I can't remember the quote, but it's a quote that goes, if one or two or more people are in a certain level of vibration, you can change the world.
It's amazing the synergy that I feel when I'm talking to you about this subject.
Yeah.
Because you're right on. We just talked for the first time last week. It's like line.
Yeah.
But this retreat in September, it's just a starting point, man. It's just the starting the point. And then after the first retreat, of course, we're gonna have multiple retreats. But the people that were at the first retreat, we're gonna do postmortems. Like, we're gonna stay connected. We're gonna, hey man, we're gonna get on the phone and have a prayer call.
I love
You
it.
know, hey, what have you been through? Like, what are you struggling with? What are you looking forward to? It just not stop at that one retreat, man. So www.brothersofsin.com, man. We'll put the links. IG is all that. Everything's Brothers of Sin. The Facebook, IG, brothersofsin.com. And then the website has everything. It has the donations, it has the registration, it has everything on the website. So the donations are to get this thing off the ground, because I probably should have started with that. We're basically starting a grassroots effort. This is a proof of concept, right? It hasn't been out there, but it's needed. And I know I'm called to
Do it.
finish this, to go across the finish line. So donations are for, like, sponsors, donors who want to contribute to Black male wholeness. If you want to contribute to Black male wholeness, donate to the cause. Even men, women, I mean, whoever. If you want to donate, it's there. And then the registration link is out there. So I just wanted to be clear about the registration. Registration covers the hotel stay, your 3-night hotel stay, all your food, and of course the agenda, and the Brothers Within retreat. So
yeah, and it's beautiful because I know from investing in myself and investing in spaces like this has changed my life. My first retreat was in Peru. It changed my life. I went through hell and hot water, and boom, I get off the retreat, I fall in love. A woman comes in my life, right? So I went from a pain point in 2023 to experience a high in 2024 because I went on a retreat and I went outside of my comfort zone. I'm afraid of heights. I took a 12-hour flight to Peru and I was with 19 people. We hiked mountains. I was there for 11 days, uncomfortable, but I was willing to grow, to become. And then God brought me a woman into my life that has changed my life since then. And so men listening, brothers listening, take this chance and this opportunity to go to the website, click the link. It's going to be on the show notes, everything. It's going to be on my page. I'm going to be at the retreat, right? I'm going to be doing my thing. And on top of that, we're going to have, like you said, post calls. We have integration, and we have revelation, we have clarity. So this is not just a one-off, which we're trying to know. We're actually doing this because this is where the world is going. And I think especially Black men, we need this more than anything. It's more than just a retreat. It's an experience to change the collective of a man. And that's the way you take care of family and you scale the family is you pour into the men of the family to keep them safe, because I feel like the world doesn't feel safe because men don't feel safe.
right.
And if men don't feel safe, women don't feel safe, kids don't feel safe. So we got to go do the work as men. We got to lead ourselves like you're leading us to our highest mountain within.
Yeah.
So in closing remarks, closing words, is anything you want to share, anything you want to add before we get off so we know? Or just, motivation, inspiration, you can drop the website, whatever you feel. I just want to give you the space.
One thing that came to my head, I didn't want to be the face of this. And my social media manager, she was like, we need you to do it. And I'm like, I don't want to be the face. I want to do the work. I don't want to be the face. She said, and my wife said it too, you have to tell your story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It starts with your story. it doesn't connect for everybody until you hear your story. And then once you tell your story, you can build everything else after. So I had to tell my story. Like I said, I don't want to be up here on video, but it gave me a chance to be on the platform with you. And I appreciate, this opportunity and this exposure, but I want help me to help you. So go out to the website, register for the retreat, see all the information there, because this is a movement. It's not just a one-time thing. This is a movement. I don't have the answers. I actually created this because I don't have the answers.
Right.
So and we're gonna get those answers together. So man, I appreciate you, Eric. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, man, this is amazing. Brothers are saying, go to the website, follow the Instagram, all the socials. I'll have it in the show notes. And there's a great book by Peter Gerber called Tell Your Story to Win. If you want to win in life, tell your story. So thank you for telling your story today. Guys, look him up on all the socials. And men, I need you in the space. We're going to be promoting this more, and you'll hear and see it in a social standing sooner than later. But other than that, be great. Stay spiritually fit. Subscribe, share, and listen to this over and over until it resonates with your soul and people who can relate to it. I'm out. Peace.